He won't be able to save over a Krieg because he...
I just seen that weapon fall from the sky. Himself with like the 1988 quoted, so that'd be tomorrow. So you'd imagine that's probably a reasonable time after this ends for their plans to come to fruition for him to leave the roster. But let's see what's going to happen right now in this one. Rushing towards that A-bomb site. Logan with great control on the AUG, not even needing the scope. Able to find two, of course, but the trades come back. Maka pushing into the smoke in this one-on-one. Here's the drop down the vent. We'll try and follow as quickly as he can without making noise, but I believe a Molotov being dropped, of course. That's going to take him away a little bit. And gives over Forrest the info. No, maybe not. He actually didn't hear that, Mitch.
From the get-go, NiP will take the victory. It's their map pick, and it's one where they statistically look better. Outside, plenty of presence there, and down in secret, there's David P, who they knew was in this position, at least they should have. Being able to wipe out one. That flash doesn't quite connect onto David P for long enough, but as Rez comes around, still the headshot is there. But the trade isn't great. On the side of UMP fight, Jane somehow comes out on top, despite Get Right catching the angle first and having a far better weapon.
And also, so they need to push straight into this bomb site and get that planted ASAP. The issue is, Logan finding that one kill pretty much puts a stop to any chances that they had.
And lost the game to Sprout 2-0. Saying that they played really badly and it's not the Heretics they're used to, and that's what we were saying throughout the entirety of this tournament even. At times they've been very, very shaky. Good flank watch by Forrest, but the trade's there for Maka into a 3 versus 2, and he gets a second! So Lekro switches the odds up, but look at that position that's coming through from David P. How could you expect it?
Yeah, well, apparently Lekro did not anyway. Flopsy, of course, now being all alone in this 1-on-2. The issue is that plant spot not really for him. Of course, he's not going to have the opportunity to make it over, although faking the bomb out initially gives the opportunity now for him to go ahead and close in the distance. One quick frag being found. Maka not actually going to stick it, just pops it initially, looking to find the frag, and of course Plopsky now realizing that, running this time down perfectly. And although Maka eventually comes through and gets the shot connected with the op, of course not enough time for that defuse to come in. 7 on that T side.
The swing out there from Plopsky towards the A side is just trying to serve as a distraction to get this bomb all the way down to B, where Forrest is currently en route in through the vents, and now that's a little bit of a worry for the secret players, or for the B site players in general. Now both on the site, David P is able to pick up one long range, but the flank is always coming in from Forrest that they've got to worry about. There he is, but a little bit late to the party. Lekro found a kill, and so did Forrest, but nobody else, leaving it into just a 1 versus 3. The B site completely open, but Forrest is hoping to catch them by surprise up towards A. He doesn't. On the A site, they might want to rotate down. You've now got the 2 players tucked up, but the flash is perfect. Plopsky, he supports himself. And entries down on secret. As Forrest comes out, they're worried about the squeaky door that Get Right opens. It's like the scene from Pirates of the Caribbean, where they're on the little boat, dressed up in the women's coats with the umbrella. Get Right's just over there. Yoo-hoo!
Not gonna lie, I haven't seen those movies in a very long time, Mitch. Make fun of me now for having a bad memory.
That was today, Dean. Without really being spotted. And I like what he's doing down towards B, playing at the back of the ramp alongside his teammate. They've baited out shots with the flashbangs. That flash was so good! Jane picks 2! He can't see a goddamn thing, and even still he's deadly. Maka drops to the side, helps out on the defense, and as the last player tries to peek in, Plopsky won't be self-supporting this time.
There's 2 or so rounds being found before they're exchanged back once again. Molotov down towards the door. No smoke currently on top of it, rather, to extinguish it. It takes a while to go down, allowing for a lot of damage to actually be dealt. A very difficult position to get up from, especially with that molly down.
David P is known to be down in the vents. I mean, Jinx has to do something to support his teammate. Comes out and eliminates Forrest. It's all down to Plopsky to pull off the clutch, and the spray inside the smoke isn't quite there. Twisting down the clock. My god, they walk right into Lekro and give him a double spray down. The headshots are all that's connected, but Jane returns it and drops the bomb in the process. He's all alone, though. An ace clutch needed by Jane as David P falls in secret. He has information that there's one coming out from T-main. Catches, Get Right off. Okay, he knows there's one down the bottom. Oh, vents. I'm going to correct that. He didn't know there was one down the bottom of vents.
To open out, I suppose, but all of the players making their way in towards ramp. Plopsky alongside Forest holding it perfectly. And that is a convincing pistol there from NiP as they extend their lead.
Where they could have went through the Pro League, and they failed there. Now they're ooh. Then they had the chance to beat Sprout to go to Pro League, and they failed there. They have not been doing great. It's like, it's just been dangled in front of them and taken away. And both of those are really bad chokes of a series. Like, there's no other way to put it. So coming into this, if they miss 3 opportunities in a row to get into Pro League by being wrecked.
For Inferno then to be a really close one, of course with that being the map choice of Heretics though, you might have to favor them on it and just do another one that could go either way. Right now though, Heretics, they've actually managed to turn this round back in their favor.
Little stack at the back, he's going towards it. Finds 1 kill. He's not going to turn around in time though. He had no idea Jane was there from them. They found, what, 6 rounds on the CT side? NiP on their first half, and then it ended up going over to 16-14. Oh, I thought that was a Mag 7 kill. He's given away his position, but they haven't quite noticed yet, so he finds 1, and in the air a second. Team Heretics are shut down on the ramp push. The weaker weapons shine through.
Which is a nice bonus. Bit of extra money, but it's going to be tough for him to actually try and pull this one in his favor. Already the door is open. Of course, he decides to hop off of that plant, and at this point, there's not really much that he can do. Trying to stick it, but as you can see, lining it up first, taking his time. Old man reactions?
Ekro actually has the read as well that they might be pushing onto him, so he picks up 1, but that's all. But he's going to see them in just a second as Logan swings around, catches the first few bullets through the wall, and finishes him off.
Yeah, actually able to get a player running towards heaven. Plopsky actually almost able to catch the bomb there. Eventually drops it. David P goes down. Makido, if he finds this kill on the bomb site, puts them in a decent position. Having to go back, though. I didn't realize they had left it. There's only 8 seconds remaining. Plopsky, will they have time? No, I think they actually got kind of caught making their way back in through the smoke, so there's not enough time for that bomb to be planted as Team Heretics lose a round that they very much needed. Convincing, because right now they could kind of use the reason, okay, that was their map, that's nuked, they chose it. Let's go into Inferno, let's get the victory like we did that last day. And then, of course, with Dust 2 following that, we also had a victory on Dust 2 in that best of 3. Plopsky taking on a player in the background there. A dink on the Maka as well before he gets dropped, so I'd say he's relatively happy with how that exchange went. The only issue is the amount of control they've given up now down towards that B bomb site. And Logan, of course, snatching away a headshot towards Rez and Maka as well, shutting down Lekro. NiP not really trying to work off of each other here. It's an interesting approach. Normally, they just go up through the outside and take the steps. Trying to go up the ladder.
You're much less exposed if you go outside. Like, you're exposed to outside and CT, where this player's not going to be if you've just come through there. Get right actually locks down the side here with so little time pushing out. Not so much around momentum, but this time they actually do move quite quickly towards the ramp. Plopsky drops a flash, not quite the way he wanted to, but it's just covering his retreat. As he holds up close, his teammates should distract from him. He finds 1. There's a second on the board. The Deagle might keep going. It does some damage at least.
The Deagle, an M4 on the ground now being retrieved. He's 3 on 2, of course. It is just NiP trying to play it safe and ensure that they'll be able to close it out, but it's getting a little bit awkward. Get right ends up going down. Lekra, though, perfect timing as he wraps around in through ramp, spots that final player as well. He's given some room to David, but the issue is the time. He's not really going to be able to get that bomb planted. That's why Forrest is just willing to play so passive. Yeah, not even going back towards the bomb site in the end, just trying to take that fight up against Lekro and not winning it.
The apartments, a set of dualies rather, in the hands of Lekro, who takes the head off of Maka. They're going to try to retreat, and as Forrest picks up 1 right behind him.
There we go. Flash not doing very much. Not too sure what the point of that was. I think he threw it so that it'd pop in a position as if he threw it from the bottom of mid as a fake. But I don't know, that'd probably be an outbrain thing. I don't think someone would be thinking that complicated. But here we go, Jane and Logan. That's kind of the only thing I could have reasoned it with.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can get anything done. Coming in from the CT spawn, though, 22 seconds to work with. And finally, Logan picking up a quick headshot. Plopsky, though, ready to shut it down.
I don't know if I like this for future rounds anyways. They need to survive with all their players. And with Get Right falling, this is going to mix their economy up. If they lose another player, their economy is going to be in the trash for the next round, as they'll have to force up on 2 rifles. And then the money is just absolutely everywhere.
Yeah, and
don't lose
great. Yeah, I was about to say there, that was dangerous from Lekro. Ends up actually taking a lot of damage for it as well. Still overall, NiP, though, are looking a little bit healthier. As you can see, Team Heretics having 2 players tagged up quite significantly. But let's see, Maka on the Deagle, ready for the player towards bottom mid. Very, very quickly, Rez has his head ripped off, and with that commitment coming immediately in towards A, the closest player being Forrest, who isn't going to get there quickly enough to really do too much, I wouldn't imagine, but never mind, run straight through the Molotov, a dink towards the player on long, rather just a body shot. He was already low, my bad. But yeah, not going too well so far. Forrest actually now all alone with 36 HP, instantly realizing I can't do anything about this when the bomb's already planted. I don't even have a defuse kit, and just backs off to save that SMG. Ensure that all 5 players are going to have weapons to work with. In this one, Makado up close, expects Get Right to be in the corner.
As the shots landed, as 2 NiP players fall for just 1 in return. Heretics are looking good. They've got to deal with this pit player as Rez is able to tap away and take Jinx down. Now he has got to...
Quite a few times where it's just not really worth the risk of it.
And now lots of players peeking in. Back goes Plopsky. He's going to make it to the side, but his teammate Get Right's a little bit late on the rotation as he was playing more towards CT. Hasn't yet been smoked out. There we go. Eventually the smokes come over, but he just pushes through it. And with the smoke that Plopsky threw down, this is working out really well. This is going to be the turning point of the game, but eventually the B push is followed through on after a little bit of a fake earlier on. Nice kills coming down, but Plopsky needs to survive. Not even get the kills, just survive because time is so low. 6 seconds on the clock. Bomb plant being sought after by Maka. No time left. And he's taken down eventually. Push towards Banana early on. Sees a little bit of team damage as Jane gets lit up. Molotov going in to stop any re-aggression. Now they'll try and isolate a player if he is towards sandbags, but it's all clear. Getting that information, it costs them a Molotov. It's not that bad. Re-smoke goes down, and they don't want to play up past it. Probably a good idea. Just in case one of these CTs pops a flash, they'd be in a lot of trouble if they were isolated like that. Over towards the A site, we've just seen a pick come through. Jinx and Rez both removed from play with the boost going down towards the B site, where the bomb's eventually coming. NiP still have 2 players here, and as Get Right starts a rotation around, flanking through CT, if anything at all. As the aggression comes towards the A site, they line up for Get Right, but he's not able to find the kill. Now it's all down to Plopsky to hold it. 10 seconds left. Time is low. Plopsky comes out. He gets 1 on the spray, but not a second. Jane was so close to death after being lit up by his teammate earlier on as well, but just about survives.
Try and chain together a couple of rounds again. Oh, Jane almost had perfect timing there on his creep in towards B.
It's a narrow margin, but sometimes that's what defines a victory or a loss. The switch is heard by Forrest. He catches a second, and not the third, but it's more than enough done. He save at this point. Now they're sticking around. Re-Molotov, and good night. David P has to run straight through the molly. He's down to 37 health. Sticking the bomb. In comes Plopsky on the push, and not a chance. I assume that's what's going to be going down. No, okay. They just straight up throw it. Jinx is going to swing out to help with the fight onto Rez, but Rez is a little bit too on point. Picks the kill, back into the apartments he goes. Nade over's not going to do too much either. Down to 1 HP there. Logan was already around 5. As David P gets aggressive, catches Get Right out, and that's a 4 versus 2. Even with low HP on Logan now, it's definitely not doable. That AWP has to be saved forward. And just really not a nice position for NiP. Like 6 rounds on the board. It's where they finished last time, and it gives them a really low probability of finishing out the map. They needed to do well here on their CT side, where they chose to begin the map as well. But it is Heretics map pick, and one that they've always been somewhat of a specialist team on. Them off guard. The rest of the team needs to make noise. Problem is there's no confirmation that they're here. 3 players have just been spotted, so now you'll see the full rotation. Rez able to pick up 1, 6 seconds left. Bomb is down. It's going to be planted safely, though. Rez not able to do a thing about it, and as he stays aggressive, he's almost dropped 17 HP remaining.
Shot there by Maka as he shuts down Get Right over on long. Red's going to actually be able to pull one back quickly on the Deagle, though, so there is definitely some opportunity here for NiP to try and get something done on the retake. The Molotov working well to force the player down to the open and burn him alive, but unfortunately, the remaining 2 players on that bomb site ready with their rifles in hand. Here we go into the apartments right now. NiP looking for the control. And
what's going on here? Logan and Jane managed to pick up kills, but it's traded back by the terrorist side on the Glocks. Bomb dropped, and he jumps a little bit too far, so the spams come through. Maka landing a headshot, and a flashbang ready to be thrown over. Necro's in a lot of trouble. 1 versus 3, catches Maka. Swings back in towards Banana. There's another. Now the longer range fight onto Logan, who's already lit up, but he can't find him. The silencer does him well. The auto shotgun specialist with an AK and an M4 to back them up. Plopski's so close to clearing that information, and as he pushes forward, he hasn't seen a single player. They haven't fully committed to A just yet. Smoke down on the cross. Plopski doesn't see anyone. They just need to wait for Plopski to clear it out, but they're going to go forward nonetheless. Jane falls. That's an aggressive position. He could be there alone on the A site. It's a plausible position for a solo hold. We've seen Forrest do it on the CT side. As the drop comes down, Lekro spots another, and eventually he's taken down. Now they know last player's A, and the rotates to B can commence.
Same with the chance to try and actually this map up first. Jinx, oh, I thought he was expecting that player, considering it. The only thing is, as you can see with the setup currently from Team Heretics, it does give them the ability to rotate quickly, but NiP, they're going quick enough themselves so that they may be able to get in and overwhelm the two defenders. Jane has to step up and actually will be able to do so for 2 frags, and most importantly, able to stay alive in decent condition. So setting themselves up for a retake here with a massive advantage now that David P even catches one from that boost. A 4-on-2 as Lekro and GetRight are left to try and clutch this one out.
Things have taken a turn for the worse. GetRight picks up 1 kill at least, but now with Lekro gone and they know exactly where GetRight is, there's very little chance of him actually stopping this. Oh, he does. He picks 1 kill. It's being tapped again. The lineup isn't quite there from the second time, and he looks for Jane slightly to the left. Oh, he's done so much damage, and he catches David P. He might not know that Jane's still on the bomb. As he pushes forward, Jane gets the defuse, and GetRight could be in trouble here. I don't think he had the AK even reloaded. It's all over. And they start to push towards the site. Rez picks up Jinx. Nade through, and in return, smoke onto the Molotov to allow them to close in the distance to the site. Great flashbang coming through from Plopski.
Keeps them in this one.
This is a shame that Jinx is rotating over towards the B site. As utility is thrown over, it becomes evident that it's going to be an A hit. GetRight jumps right down, takes David P's weapon out of his hands. David P's was floating around somewhere, but he couldn't quite find it.
Not really a worthwhile risk. Forrest getting taken down by the bomb, though. Just going for that kind of wild style approach and just pushing straight past the wall.
Said, okay, they haven't actually taken this control. We can still go A. And possibly even realize they've rotated over. Mac is ready to come in. They're not checking him at all. One with the dualies. I think he hit his teammate too, but we'll forgive it. As he's lighting up Lekro just as much. Nice kill. Flash over. It catches them, but it's not going to do anything, as Heretics don't push on the back of it. Oh, that was close, but it lands on the other side of the wall. Down goes one. Maka swings out from more towards the pool, and the headshot angle from Lekro doesn't help him out at all. Standard, though, there's 3 here.
Maybe
They've completely...
Plan. Let's push on their dominance.
There you go. Stack a site. Tell us which one it is. We'll be there. We'll be there. They've stacked up long completely, so they'll probably get a free kill there onto Lekro, but then when it comes to the actual site itself, they shouldn't get much. Rez had the bomb. Rez went out in the open. Rez is dead. Bomb's in the open. And we keep on getting kills. It's a 5 versus 2, 10 seconds left. They've got to push the bomb. GetRight's got to go for the plant. They're going to allow him to, because this retake just looks so good for Team Heretics.
Yeah, they're in an amazing position right now to take map point for themselves. But GetRight, nice control on the spray. Unfortunately, shut down after 2, but he gives Plopski hope. The only issue is coming in from long right now. Maka as well on that up. 4 HP though, a single bullet enough to finish him off. David P is the one that is healthy, of course. He has to worry about dropping down now into the pit, the AK in hand, and easily able to go ahead and spray him down. Plenty of time for the defuse to come in.
And went A, and by the time they got to A, there were 4 CTs there. It was just like, that was worth faking, wasn't it? They've lost a player here. GetRight's down. 3 players already towards B. They're getting torn apart here. Just completely shredded, Dean. As they run right into this, they have no idea that there's another 2 players here. They're getting cut off from every angle. Forrest is last alive, 1 versus 3, and again, they fall victim to what was a fake, but the fake went straight into a B push. Will die instantly, whereas for the Glock, it's a little bit more pesky than that sometimes. As they begin to push forward, the close range duels are going through, often favoring the Glocks, but the flashbang actually doesn't do a lot. Head peek on the stairs is perfect for Jinx, and they're down to a 1 versus 2. Plopski just has to play time, though he knows where both of these players are coming from. He swings out and picks up 1 kill, and then just has to avoid the bullets of David P for long enough that he can't get a defuse, which was already immediately.
Towards the middle, looking like he will be challenged. There's There's also 2 players on towards the B-bomb site, so as Maka goes down, it looks like NiP setting themselves up for a B split. They may not expect 2 players still towards this position, and Jinx indeed finding themselves a quick headshot on the Deagle. The flash goes out. NiP are just crumbling in mid.
And as Rez sprays down and picks one, that's the most he's going to get. A bomb plant, and he's going to glass cannon op because of it. Straight down middle, and he catches a tag. David P down to 14 health. Maka can't quite make it to the pit in time, so he's eliminated. And what a fantastic start for NiP into their bye round. The third time for Heretics could be very unlucky for NiP. There's a 2-1 score line, and Jane picking it off with the head peek. Here comes Logan up to assist, but he's only able for one. And with the HP of David having been tagged by Forrest on the cross early on, I think that's going to be it for the round.
Taking a little bit more passively. Has that smoke to work with, holding to see if anyone's going to try and push down. But it is over towards long, actually, where the action comes in. Rez and Get Right going to be able to go ahead and claim one each.
Here's the issue. Heretics going after the peak. I thought there was going to be a flashover, but nothing comes of it. And for Jinx right now, look, he's just being surrounded, and NiP's patience as they wait for the flankers to come in through the tunnels, but eventually the angle's offered up by Jinx. Pretty much it. The majority of the time that we see Heretics find the opening, in this series, it must be a really high percentage, because I feel like NiP just haven't been pulling back into rounds at all. There's a nice double opening for them, though.
Maka is looking to try and play around this smoke. It's beginning to fade away, though, so decides he wants to try and swing on it. Unfortunately, though, first ready on that NiP side to finish him off. Nice find by Logan through the smoke. That was actually the bomb as well. So that delays this push up towards the B-bomb side from middle and allows for Jinx to have a bit of room to work with. Takes down Lekro. Get Right will try to back, so the bomb still gets planted with a man advantage in favor of NiP. Which leaves Logan in a very difficult clutch right now. A bit of utility to use, but he throws it in, forcing his way through the Molotov, blinded. He finds the headshot on towards Forrest. A 1 versus 1 against Get Right. But it's going to be the Legend who manages to win it out, making it a quad kill in that round.
In this one. Smokes down and CT means Get Right can look up towards B. The flash is perfect. Stands for him to have that up and be able to deal 1-click damage from the waist up. Lekro pushes B, which is going to be a little bit of a fake, but even still, Logan's pushing up behind them on short, so he's got to be careful there. Lekro falls, nobody else in this position, and they check their back. They take down Logan. It's all on to Maka. He has the AWP, takes down Plopsky, looks towards the site. Now this could be dangerous. We've seen Maka do things like this with the op before, but he only catches the legs of Rez. For David P at the moment, though, there are 2 players very low. This could work out for him if Get Right whiffs the shot. Luckily, it's connecting. The fault of him being playing average.
The issue is there's a player in the CT spawn to deal with. Is the ability for the quick rotate, and there's 2 already on that B-bomb site, which does seem to be going quite well for them. Jinx was just spamming away through the smoke there. Little bursts allowing for a frag. Logan through the long flank going to be able to spot Get Right down mid. A 2-on-5 to try and pull off. That keeps getting harder. It's only Forrest now.
For David P goes down the ramp and picks 1, and immediately you can see NiP just pull back, making sure Maka has no support, no way out. He's going to be burning alive as he goes back and loses 50 HP in the process. Rez takes down Jane, and the A side is under heavy threat. Logan through the smoke. I think the second last bullet there connects to his head. Jinx wants to return another kill. It's a 3 versus 3. Anything they can get would be huge for them, and David P finds it. Now they can back off if they want to, but continuing to aggress through the smoke. This is not expected. Jinx goes in, but he misses. Plopsky wasn't even looking at him.
Yeah, amazing reactions there from Plopsky to manage to spin around. Rez spots the head on top of the bomb site. In the meantime, Plopsky did get dropped, of course. So unfortunately, that is the bomb. The time that's going to have to be expended to actually go and retrieve. That makes things just so much more difficult here for Rez. Needs to get back and immediately commit to that bomb plant and hope that David isn't going to be able to get up in time. The bomb will at least go down, but David P up close. This is going to be expected. He's making noise. The footsteps being heard, though. David jumps up, sprays away, and eventually gets it. It was a little bit closer than he would have hoped for.
But Get Right's picking up the slack, which is good to see. Flash goes through. Maka is good on the timing and drops a flash, bailing out the rotate from short, as Logan's going to have to play on the site now to support him. Maka actually posted up on the angle. He bails out eventually. Doesn't want to stick around too long. It's a good choice. Jane was trying to go through for the flank but got eliminated, and that opens it up for NiP to take things where they want to now. They're even back down into a 4 versus 4, but right into Maka's sight lines.
if a couple players start going down. And here, finally, Jinx able to pounce on that flank, finding one before being traded back. That keeps them in a pretty good spot. I think they'll be happy with that. But as I say, if Forest gets himself another on the op, the Deagle comes out, a headshot onto Logan. And now it's all onto David as Forest just destroys everyone. It's decisions that they take here on this too. As we can see, Forest, he's playing towards the back platform, just trying to tap some heads on that USP. We know he's more than capable, and he's already gone ahead and found a second before eventually that Molotov is just a bit too much for him to handle. Too much heat.
The flank coming
one way to
through.
put it.
There's
Jinx
Rez.
was able to find.
Oh man, Jinx in there with another tap, and out comes Lekro. He's one shot to the body even. And there you go, displaying it perfectly. Jane finds the frag.
He is the amount of utility that's available. There is then also the case for NiP that Forest has enough, and on the other hand, Jane only going to have a scout to work with. Makido straight along with the AK sprays down too. A lot of info about who's positioned on those sites. They need to pick this one up, otherwise it's really going to get out of control. And Jane, based on the spawn, taking the op early on, and a bit of damage, or rather just a small bit actually. I expected Plopsky to be tagged down slightly more. Through the smoke, completely blinded. His Makazin ends up going down. Jinx only able to get one before he eventually drops. Plopsky somehow burning one alive with that Molotov, of course, from the grave. Even actually NiP in a favorable position, which is extended by Forest as he hits an up-close headshot with the op.
As Jane creeps in, there's Get Right. Good reactions by Jane, though, to immediately look over towards window and doors. If they didn't throw that molly, he probably would have jumped up on top of the box. They might have been able to win that fight because there were two players looking at it. Oh, but that works as well.
The spot, the op playing around the bomb site instead on ramp. Rez also in this position. They're doing a great job at slowing Heretics down right now, and I don't even think it's really a possible situation anymore. You can see they've not really, they've not really decided to go forward anymore, just holding instead, seeing if they can get a couple of kills and just allow for themselves to actually save over these weapons. But with that, NiP taking themselves now 2 rounds in a row to begin the round, giving themselves the options to work with. Jinx actually going to be able to catch the headshot there on towards Lekro.
For Heretics. They stick around a little bit too long. Get Right comes out with the op. Trades it back. Molotov immediately on B after that opening pick on A, as no one else was spotted, and they just want to make sure there's no immediate rush. That looked like a wallbang headshot, but Get Right walks away with 55 HP. David B's already on the site, and they've no idea. They were none the wiser to it, as Jane picks another. Hello, David B's above you. Using you as an elevator, and the tippity taps onto Forest eventually connect. NiP down to the pistols. It's all about damage at this point. Shot by Rez. Connects another alongside his teammate Plopsky. It's not bad now, with the rifles retrieved. Rez is sticking around, still looking to play aggressive. Jane wasn't expecting that.
They're going to move on relatively soon if they want to make this a winnable retake, because of course no defuse kit for NiP.
Immediate trade going down. It's all onto Logan. The Molotov on the side about to dissipate, and he's been spotted in the open. They know exactly where he is.
Let's see how it goes. Aiming towards this A bomb site. A smoke down towards CT. Actually, just up on short, rather. Allowing them to cross over a little bit before they do get spotted. But eventually, it will be the M4 of Lekro that they have to contend with already. The first frag coming in his favor. He will be quickly returned on, though. But the bomb at the moment being dropped. And they've really stagnated on this push. I guess you can see Maka, he was looking to use that one way. But David P had hung back for a while. Or rather, hung back for a while. And eventually pays the price for it. 3-on-3 now. Some success, though, definitely for Heretics here. At least the bomb plant has been put in.
There's the spams from Plopsky, and he gets a second as well. The wallbang headshot on the site.
Quite that level as of yet, quite on that stage. But here he's been doing a good job for sure. Long control is the goal for Team Heretics, and unfortunately, you don't always get what you want because they are finding absolutely no success. It's David P and Jane left to try and keep them in this one, and it's not going to happen. NiP, they secure their spot in EPL Season 10.